Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our employees management system. So as you can see, this is our email address and password. So if we sign in, then we are able to actually land on our dashboard. So this is how our dashboard looks like. So on our previous video, we actually been enhancing our look and feel for our system codes. You see, this is how it looks. We have the system code details and also town or cities, countries, banks, departments. So we actually been updating the look and feel. As you can see, this is how the form looks like. So for example, here we have the ICT as the code, and we can say ICT department. So we can do here ICT department. So if you click register, then you'll be able to see the code and the name of the department. So on the designation, you can see we were able to actually do the index page. So we have the created by, created on. But if you click on add new designation, this is how the form looks like. So we were trying to update this to ensure that we have the correct look and feel and ensure that it is standard across all our applications. So you can see this is how it looks like. So to enhance this, let's just go to our application under the designations. So I'm going to copy what we have been doing under departments. So this is the look and feel. So I'll just copy this. Then go to departments. So designation, I mean. Then I'll just update here. So you can say this is add department. Then this is the, so here I'll just do MD6. Then we can actually update these across all our areas. So you can see we have the created by, created on. So we don't need these particular fields. So I'll just actually delete them. Then I'll close these particular tags. I'll just close this. Then if I format, so this is how our app, that is the page looks like. Then I can actually remove these ones and I can update all the closing tags. So if I just do that, then I'll remove these ones that it doesn't have the opening tags. Then I'll have my add new designation. So this is add new designation. Then this is add new designation. Sorry. So we can also copy what we had in the other modules. So like the back buttons and the submit button. So we are actually standardizing this across. So you can say register designation. So once you save this, then we can actually, before even updating, let's do the same for the edit. So we are also copying the one for department, that is the edit screen. So I'll just copy this. And we are actually using this across our application. So if also you need the source code, you can claim the source code using the link down below, and you can update it on your app. So I'll just do your call MD6. Then I can update this here. Can also update this. Can update this. Can do this. So, but here, I think we just need two fields. So I'll remove the created by and the created on and even modified on and modified by. So those two fields are not supposed to be added by the user or actually updated by the user, but it should be updated by the system. So here I'll also copy what you had, and that is the buttons. So I'll copy these buttons, go to edit and replace them here. Then I'll also remove these ones and I can update my closing tags. So if I just update that, then you'll be able to see that is our, you can say this is update designation. So this should be designation. Then this is update designation. So once we have our designation there, then I can actually have my created by and created on here. So I don't need to modify the created by. We should actually have the created by ID and created on. So if you go to our designation controller, so I'll just go to designations controller. So here, you'll realize that, so there's something here. So we can actually be changing this. You see, it is actually telling us to use primary constructor. So if we just do that, so it will remove that and append it here. So we now have that there. Then here, let's just go, this is designation. We have the designation created by, we also have the details here. So we can do include. Then we can say here x dot created by. Then you can also copy this. Let me zoom so that you're able to see. Then we have these as modified by. So then if we proceed to the create, I'm going to remove this binding. So I'll just do away with this binding. Then if we do that, then I'll have my, so I need to remove some things here because this will not be saved. So I can just do here remove, then I can do that. So I say created by, then here I can also say modified by. So this is modified by. Then we should be able to do that. So on updates, we should also do the same thing. So I'll just copy this. That is on edits. So if you go to edit, I'll also remove this binding. So then if I go to this one, I need to add this here. Then I also need to update something. For designation, whenever you are updating, we need to register the person who is modifying. So we need to say modified by, then we say we need the user. And this is how we are getting the user who is logged in. So we are actually doing, So here we are actually doing, so this is the user ID. Then we'll just apply the user ID here. Then we also need to supply the date and time. So you can say here created, that is modified on, and this is date time, then dot now. So this is the time when this was modified. Then on the changes, we need to also supply the user ID who is logged in. So I think that's cool. So let's just update and relaunch our app. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them who are following our series and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing so that you actually motivate us to keep posting more of these videos and also learn together. So as our app launches, like the video and comment down below on some of the areas that you want us to tackle in the employees management system. So let's just log in. So our app is signing in. So as you can see, there we go. Then if we go to our designation, we can add new designation. You see this is so you can say here HR, then we say here HR officer. So if we say register, you see we have our HR officer, but there is something wrong. You see the created by as not, we don't have the value for the created by and even the created on. That means if you go to our register, that is create, post action, we don't have those two things here. So we should actually ensure all our records are able to track who created and who actually modified. So that's what we need to do. So here we just do that, and we also need to supply the created on. So I'll just do that. Then here we say date time, then dot now. So if we do that, then I think we are cool. So this should be here user ID. So let's just relaunch our app again and try to save the designation. So we are going to save the designation, and it will actually have the created by and created on, and also save the changes in the audit trails table. So let's just launch. So if you're new to this channel and you're following this series, we have been doing series on employees management, and we are actually coming up with a mobile app corresponding to this particular module. So we'll be creating the mobile app. So stay tuned and actually expect more content from us. So here we say system. So you can say system. admin is the code. Then you can say here system administrator. So if we register, then you see we now have system admin, system administrator, and the person who created and when it was created. So if you say edit, you see it is actually updating this. So here if we say updated, so then you say register, you see it is actually updating. So instead of register, let's just update our our edit screen here, and we should actually say this is update. So if we relaunch our app, so let's just relaunch our app again and see. So I think that is done on the designations. Once you are able to add and update, then we are cool. So I'll remove the deletion from the page so that we are not allowing deletion on our system, but we'll actually add a way for you to disable or enable. So there we go. So if we go to departments, you should be able to see that. So there we go. So if we say edit and we say here updated, then you just say update designation, then you're able to see these as updated. So the next thing that I want us to do is let's just remove the delete area on the index page. So we are going to remove this and this. So then let's just format our page. So the next page here will be now approval user matrix. So you can see on the approval user matrix, we even have some values that so here I think we don't need these buttons. We just need the edit one, and that's cool. So let's just go there. So that is approval user matrix. So if we go back here and we just we can actually remove some of the fields. So we'll remove this one. Also created one is okay, remove this one, and I also need the edit, so we can call this update. So then you also remove so I think we had removed that. Then we need just to leave the edit buttons. So then we call these updates. So this is edit, we can call this action. So but there is one thing that we need to check on this particular code. So if you realize, we actually displaying the created by ID, but we need to display the created by full name. So we just do their full name. And if we go to approval user matrix, so if we go to approval user matrices, we can also change this to use the primary constructor. So I'll just say use primary constructor, then that's okay. So here I'll just say this is matrix, then I'll do await. So I like having using await async. So if I zoom this, so here I'll include the document type. I'll also include the user. I'll also include the workflow user group. And I need also to include something here. I need to include created by. Then once you do that, we just need to do as dot here dot async. So once you do dot async, then you need to return that particular view here. So that's cool. So if we now relaunch our app, we should now be able to have that. We should now be able to see the created by, the workflow user group, the user, and the document type. So some of you guys recommended that we change mapping this to the user, but we can actually map it to a department. So it can be a workflow that is related to a department. So if I just sign this, so I'm going to do that. Then I'll just come here and say here approval user matrix. Then you see I have the workflow user group, and I actually have the document type and user type. Then I actually have the created by, created on, and whether it's active or not. So if we click on add new, you realize this is how our form looks like. So let's just update this to ensure that it is looking a bit better to what we had done previously. So I'll just come to our, so let's just use the departments form. So I'll copy this one. And if we go back to our create here, you can actually update this. So here, then you can say add new approval user matrix. So you can say approval user matrix. So once you do that, then we can now align this to be the same. So I'll just come here and so let's just confirm here what we need here. Where is our form? So let's just confirm this is our form here. So we need to close it somewhere here. So you need to close it here. And also I need to remove this. Then I can close the tags. So if I format, so this is how our form looks like. So you can say this is a add new approval user matrix. So we have the user ID, document type, workflow user group, and even the create button is here. So we can borrow the create button, that is the buttons from the, so from here. So let's just copy this. So if we go to our create form, we can update this here. Then you can say create. So you can say here create, or yes, you can say create matrix. So that's okay. So then we need to remove this. So let's just format. And if we relaunch our app, we should now be good to proceed and actually update some of the details that we have. So let's just launch our app and see how this looks like. So if you're new to this channel and you are following our series, consider liking the video, comment down below, and even subscribe. And in case you need to buy us coffee, use the link down below to buy us coffee and even access the source code. So let's just launch the app. If we go to approval user matrix, then I'll be able to add new. So you can see this is how it looks like. So here, so let me just see here what we, I don't know if we need this, but let's just come here to our create. So I want us to change how this works. So I want us to change this. I want us to remove this particular row. And I also want us to remove one of the divs here. And I think it should be good. So if we update, we should now be able to see some space here. I hope so. Let's just confirm if that is the case. Yes. So this is okay. But I want us to change this particular labeling. So the display names there. So let's just, so to change that, go to the model. And we can actually annotate. So we can say here display name. And we can have these as a, so let's just have this as a username. And you can also do here document type. So I just say here document type. Then I'll also have, so here, I'll also have these as a workflow user group. Workflow user group. So workflow user group. And I'll also have here whether it's active. So I'll call this is active. So I'll say is active. So if we have those ones, then we should be able now to see the changes in our application. So if we relaunch that, then our display name should change to reflect what we've just provided here. And we should be okay to actually now see the new changes. So let's just check. So I'll just check there. If we sign in, so there we go. And if we come here to approval user matrix, then say add, we realize that we now have the username, workflow user group, document type, and is active. So you can, so you can add a new one. So you'll just do that. We choose this one, and you can choose the group. So if you say create, then you're able to see that created. So you can also do the same to the workflow user groups list. So here we can actually remove some of the things here. So if you go to workflow user groups list, so that is the workflow user groups. So here I'll remove the title here, just do away with that. Then document description. Then I think here I'll also remove this. We can just have an edit button. So let me just copy that from here. So I'll do this here and just come and update here. So then if you check on our workflow user group, we also need to update the form. So if I just update this, you should be able to see that these will be, we have removed this and we have changed the action to just have the edit. Then as you can see, the department type ID, department ID is not, sometimes you just need to ensure that you are providing the correct names. And you can do that by actually updating the display names. So I'll just do display. Then I can say here, this is the code. Then I can do here, say description. Then I can do and say, instead of department ID, I can say department name. Department name. Then here I say document type. So for those who are requesting that we tie this to the department, we were actually creating the user groups based on departments. So I think then we have the user group member. So I think we'll be able to see how we can actually append that, so that whenever we just define our workflow based on departments. But also I think we were trying to avoid that, just to ensure that we are actually having we are relying on the groups, not but not the departments. I think we'll be able to see how we are going to check on that, because it can be hectic to do one user at a time. So I'll just do here, we say sequence. So this will be sequence number. So if I just relaunch this now, we should be having an updated look and feel on that is the display names and the labels on our index page. So let's just launch our app and see. So if you're new to this channel and you are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, like the video, comment, share, and also tell us more on what you want to see in our upcoming series. So I'll just sign in here. Then if we go to our departments and our workflow user groups, so we have, you see the core department, document type, department name, and the description. So I think we are going to have it there for today. On our next episode, we are going to wrap up the administration. Then we go to security. Then we start now doing some new modules. So that is it for today, and see you in our next episode. Bye.